Tennessee hangs on to defeat Arkansas 34-31 here at Neyland Stadium alongside Josh Ward from Josh and Swain. I'm Vince Ferrara from Sports Talk. Boy, I think there was a lot more feeling as we got closer to the game, despite what the point spread was saying, that Tennessee fans are feeling like this would be a runaway win for Tennessee. It did not turn out that way, although it was trending that way in the middle of the game. Strong offensive start for Arkansas, held the lead for a good part of the first half and then tied at the half. And then Tennessee scored 24 and answered between the second and third quarters. But then Arkansas, two late touchdowns and closed the gap. And Tennessee had to execute late to seal the win.
Yeah, and Tennessee did that. I mean, there are a lot of good takeaways from Tennessee's side. There are a lot of things that Tennessee's going to look back at from a frustrating angle and say, man, we got to get this fixed with Alabama coming up next. I think that's going to be part of the concern coming out of this, is that whatever has to be fixed on the road in Tuscaloosa up next. But the good is that Tennessee, I think, showed it's the better team over four quarters, and it should have, in my opinion, had a win by more than 3 points in the end. Now, Arkansas can also say, man, if Mike Petrino kicks a field goal instead of going for it and fourth down in the middle of the third quarter, or the middle of I guess there in the second half. Yeah. I thought that was an odd move at the time. That could have tied it up for them, but he didn't. And in the end, those 3 points were to Tennessee's advantage. So the defense made plays. I think in the end, turnovers were the real difference. Tennessee made turnovers. Now, they couldn't capitalize and score off the first two, but that kept Arkansas from putting points on the board, especially Russell's turnover near the end zone. And then they were able to get points off the third turnover. So Tennessee made enough plays. Tennessee is the better team than Arkansas and proved that. But there are a lot of things to work on for Tennessee for sure.
Yeah, and look, the turnovers have been the story for Arkansas. Josh Heupel was talking about how good a team they were. They're within a score and had a late fumble at Ole Miss. Same thing with Memphis in position to win a game and fumble the ball late and near the goal line. So that's kind of what's troubled them. And it was interesting to hear Joey Aguilar and Josh Heupel talk about all the changes and different things. They didn't know exactly what they were going to get from Arkansas, especially defensively. So they kind of had to adjust as the game went on. And Tennessee was able to run the ball, so was Arkansas. But at least they were able to close the game out, knowing they were getting a loaded box with the run game, which was really good, led by Deshaun Bishop.
Yeah, Tennessee was able to do a lot of what it wanted to do. Now, offensively, getting the ball to Chris Brazzell was difficult. A couple of opportunities that they just didn't connect on, but both Josh Heupel and Joey Aguilar talked about their coverage and trying to take away Chris Brazzell, but that opened up big opportunity for Braylon Staley. He had a huge game, and you mentioned running the football. We'll see about Deshaun Bishop. Josh Heupel didn't express much concern after the game, but he's still obviously worth monitoring because he had a really good performance. He's their lead back and has been really good all season long. But Tennessee overall was able to run the ball well. Then Peyton Lewis was able to step in and finish off. Being able to finish off and not give Arkansas the ball back at the end, that also is worth noting because Tennessee had to make that happen. Tennessee could have gone 3 and out, punt the ball back, and then you hope you can get one more stop to get out of there. But Tennessee's offense was able to pick up the necessary first downs and end in victory formation. They deserve a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, and there would have been a lot of nervous people in here if Arkansas would have got the ball back, having already cut the lead to 3 for sure. So you had some young players make plays. Jordan Ross, my goodness. I remember asking Chop Harbin, Lavorne Harbin, outside linebackers coach during the week this week, about Jordan Ross, and he said, man, that guy plays his backside off. It's just going to come eventually where the sacks in the box score is going to pay off with those stats. And it did tonight, and he impacted the game even more than that.
Yeah, Ross is one of the best athletes overall on the team. He's a 5-star prospect coming out of high school, and he has a lot of hustle. Chase down plays that he can make a big difference. And while this defense, it can have its busts and it can give up a lot of yards and gave up a good amount of points, it also can make game-changing or saving plays. It did that against Mississippi State, scoring twice. We talked about the turnovers, but getting to the quarterback, 5 sacks in the game. So we'll see. That's probably going to have Tennessee leading the nation again. They led in sacks per game going into this weekend. And those big-time athletes up front are often the difference. Joshua Josephs, who got to Taylor Green and forced the fumble that Perlotti, a freshman, falls on. And then you talk about Ross, and on the second play where he chases down Russell, he's taking Russell down, and a second-year player, Idris Farouk, makes the fumble with the hit that caused the fumble. And those are plays that in the end of the game, I think they keep Tennessee on top. If they don't make those plays, if they don't have that second turnover that they force, heck, the first one where it's at the middle of the field, you don't know what's going to happen. But Arkansas has already driven once for a score.
Right.
Good chance they're going to be able to do it again.
Yeah.
Seeing how the game played out, so there's a lot to fix. But at this point, this is a playmaking defense, and that's going to come in handy at Alabama in the future. It's going to be tough to go to Alabama and win, but if they can make those kinds of plays, if they can be on the plus side of the turnover battle, that will give Tennessee a chance on the road.
Yeah, and this defense especially is very different than it was last year. It's like opposite. They didn't have as many of those game-changing plays, and turnovers and sack totals weren't out of this world, but they were fantastic on third down getting off the field. This year, they're giving up a lot of those third and longs and yards, but they're making those game-changing plays. So it's interesting how they're just kind of adapting and doing what they need to win. And man, we see everybody challenging everybody in this league. You just got to get the W's. That's all that matters. Yeah,
it really isn't any given Saturday. And Tennessee right now is outpacing a lot of teams. Bama's turned things around though, so I think it's going to be a great game in Tuscaloosa next week. And going on the road and playing Alabama the way that it is won't be as easy probably to make these kinds of plays because of the talent and the speed and everything that they have. And again, the road factor, everybody recognizes that. But last year, Tennessee had 29 sacks for the season. Tennessee's halfway through this season with 26.
Right.
Yeah, it's a remarkable difference in what Tennessee was able to do in getting to the quarterback. They were really good 2 years ago. Last year, dropped off, but that was an emphasis. They have to be better at getting home, and a bunch of different guys are able to do that. A bunch of guys are making plays, and that's a good thing. There are problems on the defense to get figured out. They're not hiding from that. Arion Carter was talking about that. Joshua Josephs was talking about that. So nobody's ignoring that. But the plays that they're making, in the end, the last couple of games have been the difference for Tennessee to get the win.
All right, you guys in the morning are going to kick off our radio reaction coverage with Sunday Sports Sound. I'll tell everybody about that.
Yeah, 8 to 10 Sunday morning. I'll be with Ollie Lane and Todd Kelly Jr., two VFLs with perspectives from both sides of the football. So great perspective they offer on what Tennessee has done, both reacting and looking ahead. So we'll spend plenty of time looking ahead to the Tennessee-Alabama game and everything that's going to build up to this week, as it could be two top 10 teams going up against each other, at least close to that.
Yeah, love it. And then Monday morning, 6 a.m., John Wilkerson and I will kick off all of our weekday shows, all-day discussion about that and looking ahead to Tennessee and Alabama next Saturday night. Third Saturday night, October should be a lot of fun in Tuscaloosa. Josh, awesome job. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's Josh Ward from Josh Swin. I'm Vince Ferrara. Thanks for taking in all of our content on the YouTube channel and on social media at SportsAnimal991. Same handle for the YouTube channel as well. And we will talk to you on the radio on 99.1, The Sports Animal. See ya.